everything on the internet. But either do that or go to the library, right? So what's cool about being able to have that information and access it is that we have a lot of different opinions and a lot of resources, and I think that's really great. So it's actually a fun thing. So he used to make fun of me, but now he's looking up things on the internet. Yeah. You know, because the last thing I had to look up on the internet was how to put my pool cover and attach it to the actual roller. I couldn't find it anywhere. So, you know, just know, if you ever have to do anything, find the instructions on YouTube. It's awesome. Okay, so I have a cute story, and this is by Osho. Once a man who had only 3 long hairs on his head went to a barber and asked him to braid his hair. The barber began to do so, but one of the hairs fell out. He was mortified and apologized profusely to the man. The man remained calm, however, and said, "That's okay, just part my hair in the middle then." As the barber combed the left side to the left hair to the side, it too fell out. The barber was so apologetic, but the man said, "Well, I guess I shall just have to run around with my hair mussed up." It's classic. I love that, right? Now there's a positive attitude, right? I'm just going to have to run around with my hair mussed up. He had 1 hair left, I think, or none. That was so cute. Anyway, what I did do, I was looking up my talk title, and it's always interesting that there's somebody that has written something about it, or there's some kind of a movement. And my talk title is Gratitude is as a Celebration, or is a celebration. And one of the things that I was looking up was a company. It wasn't a company, I think it was a Thanksgiving. Celebrating your success. And it is, they had a contest, and this was done by the College for the Advancement of Well-Being. And they had a celebrating gratitude. We have been humbled by both the number and the power of the entries we received for a celebrating gratitude contest, and they did that last December. And so they put a sampling of some of what people were grateful for to give you an idea about what you want to write in order to move forward. Today, I am grateful that I woke up to the sound of my alarm this morning, for it means I have another day to live, learn, love, and experience the beauty of this world. Isn't that gorgeous?
That is gorgeous.
Okay, and that's from somebody in Virginia, so they're not even in California. I mean, you know, there's snow there. Okay, and then this one says, "I am grateful for many things, but most notably I'm grateful for a sound mind, a sound body, and a spirit that is not afraid." I like it. And let's see, where's another interesting one? Okay, although I'm grateful for many simple things that are easy to take for granted, freedom, opportunity, education, I'm most thankful for the only thing that could bring a smile any time and place, my family and cookies. So I like that one. That was really great. So that's one area. And then, you know, it's also been studied, and it's also been told that if we attract that positive energy into us, then we're going to have a different experience in our life, right? So if we're grateful, we're going to attract positive energy. And if we're not grateful, we're going to attract more of what we don't want, what we're not grateful for. But it actually, people who are happier are grateful a lot more. And so if you all understand quantum physics, do you understand what that is? Quantum physics is really the science about how when you can look at an object or a thing, and as you look at it, it changes. So let's say we're looking at a situation, and I had one, and Rick, you have yours, you're grateful that you broke, right? Okay, that's great, because you can be all distraught and unhappy and angry. That could be another way to do it. So, you know, I thought about this, and I was thinking about this through the week as I'm, you know, being with this talk title. And one of the things was that I'm grateful for, there's an individual that for some reason can't stand me and hates me. And I'm going, wow, so what part of me is not loving and kind to myself? And what part of me, is there a little part of me that has that anger and hatred within myself? That's another way to look at it, isn't it? But what I'm really grateful for is that that individual projected all of that anger and pain and whatever's going on in that individual's life onto me. And I can look at where I can shift it, where I can, obviously that's been brought into my field in order for me to change. Do you guys believe that? That you have people come in? So here's a wonderful teacher for me, and man, I was hacked off, I was really upset when this first happened. And then yesterday I was at a intuitive fair up in La Crescenta, and I found two great people, by the way. I digress, but I'll tell you about them in a minute. But what I realized, I was talking to a gentleman who has been a medium for a long time. And we were talking about this very thing, and we talked for about a half hour. And I said, there's only one little area in my life that I need to release, and it's really that. So when we are looking at, we have someone who really bothers us. Anybody have anybody who bothers you in your life? Okay, yeah, I know, right? And the thing is, they're there to help us to open our hearts and to sing the song George sang and to embody those words. Shower the people with love that you love. Well, I can't love that individual. So what I do, and this is just my personal technique, but I'll just say, and you know what, God, I can't forgive them. I can't do it. So please, can you take this on for me? Because I am not ready, willing, and able to do this right now. But I may be later as Spirit works on that situation for me. And it's a lot easier that way. So can you think of somebody and you can release it that way? Because what happens if we allow that individual, oh my gosh, there she is. There's the family with the 3 girls. So what happens, we are abundant with little girls today. Look at this, you guys. It's so cute. Anyway, so what happens is that if we continue to hold that energy in our bodies, how do you feel? How do you feel about that? Yeah, negative energy. What happens to you?
Crummy.
It'll keep you back from what you're...
Exactly. It keeps you back. That's exactly right. So I sat down with the gal and she says, there's some energy holding you back. That's exactly the word she said, Fabian. And she said, there's something holding you back. Are you willing to let go of it with me right now today? Oh! And part of me is like, no, I'm not. I want to be righteously right, and that person's a mean, nasty individual. I mean, right? That's how we feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm righteous about it. But you know what the thing is? That's not serving me. And I'm the one that's having the headaches. I woke up with a headache. I couldn't get rid of it all day. And then I realized there's a part of me that is holding that energy so present that I have to let it go, because this is not good. And so get assistance from somebody. Get a friend to help you talk through it. Get somebody to help you. Because if you have that energy, it's going to create, first of all, physical problems. It's going to create emotional problems. And it's going to create other problems in your physical realm, meaning money situations, because that negativity will cause things to happen to you. How many of you have seen The Good Place? Roxy goes, you got to see it. I know. Okay. If you have on demand, you've got to watch this. It's with Ted Danson. What's the actress's name?
Kirsten Bell.
Bell.
Mm-hmm.
And she gets sent to the good place by mistake. In other words, they're talking about heaven and hell, but they call it the good place and the bad place. So in the good place, she realizes, it's been a great mistake because she has been horrible. I mean, she has done things to people. She has, just manipulated them and been so awful. It's almost like Bridesmaid, how she was so awful at times. So anyway, it's that kind of thing. But what happens, they're kind of showing metaphysically what's going on. And so as she is in the good place and she's starting to be snarky in herself in the good place, all these horrible things start happening because the energy is manifesting so quickly. And so Ted Danson is like the I don't know, the architect of this city, and he says, it must be me, it must be me. You know, and that he's trying to figure out what's going on. He goes, well, the only common denominator is that I'm the one that's always there. So what I'm sharing that story with is that as we have that negativity continue to stay in our lives, and we're trying to shift something out of our lives, oh, let it go, because it ain't gonna shift unless we shift. Does that make sense? It's not gonna shift unless we shift. And I got really, really strong, and I thought, ugh. And that's the one thing, the ego does not want to let it go. The ego says, no, no, I'm right. That person, they should be this way, they should be that way. No, not really. They're just who they are. And for them, that's their normal. For you, that's your normal. But we let it go in order to release. So it also creates happiness for us to be a little bit happier in our lives, right? And this one man wrote a great article, and it's called 5 Levels of Celebration and Gratitude. I love that this stuff's all online. It's great. So he said, we think that successful people have lots to be happy about, but science has shown us that is actually the opposite. Happiness helps people to be more successful, so that's why you want to let go and forgive. Similarly, we think that happy people have lots to be grateful for, and it's actually the opposite. Gratitude helps people to be happier. That's why we're going to do this through the month of November. So this is our month of gratitude. Figure it's November, why not? And what I wanted to do is have us, first of all, let's do some forgiveness. You know what? I'm going to do that next week. There's a forgiveness process because we're a small enough group we can do that. And remember that one, Diana?
Yeah.
We're going to do it next week.
All right.
Yeah.
You said we would, and we are.
And we are. You darn right. So anyway, gratitude equals happiness equals success. So when you focus on gratitude, it actually helps you to be more successful. It helps you to connect with the divine, and it helps you to connect to that wisdom that is within us. And that's really what it's about. So for some, so here's the levels that he wrote. He says, level 1, uncomfortable. Some of us have a hard time appreciating anything in our lives. Do you guys all have something? Are you comfortable with appreciating in your lives? Are you? Okay, so you don't really have that problem. But they downplay their birthdays, their successes, that sort of thing. So what he's saying is allow yourself to celebrate your success. Allow yourself to celebrate you. So if something happens, okay, so we had kind of a not nice situation. We had our, we have a cloud for our accounting system, and it went, and somebody, a black hatter, do you know what that is? They tried to infiltrate the system, and they had to shut it down. This was Sunday, that's why I couldn't write those checks, EJ. Anyway, so what happened is I don't know, who knows, somebody's trying to get into the system. But what happened is that, you know, I finally was able to sit on the phone. I had to let it go for 2 or 3 days because I was on the phone for over an hour, I think an hour and a half on Friday, just getting the system set back up. So I'm grateful it's up. And it's that kind of thing that you get grateful for, because as you have those little seeds of gratitude and you put them into your life, it's going to expand. You know, I say that when you're doing that, or when you're doing something nice for somebody, you're creating karma brownie points. You want brownie points, right? So in the good place, it talks about we create all these points in order to get to the good place. And I don't really agree with the writers, because they're saying you're either like this saint or you go to the bad place. But it's not true. So you can change right now and allow yourself, and the good place is really your consciousness within yourself. And it's a way for you to feel more joyful. It's a way for you to feel more connected. It's a way for you to just have that full, joyful presence every single day. And that's really what we're here to do. And it's not to be miserable and sad and broke. And it's not to be sad or angry. It's about allowing ourselves to feel the joy and the blessings of the divine. So event-focused celebrators, and I'm one of them, You know, so I have a birthday in April, and I celebrate for about 2 to 3 months. Because, I mean, it's only once a year, right? I mean, you know, you're gonna go to dinner with a friend, I'm gonna celebrate with my community here. I know, you're all laughing, but why not do that? I mean, celebrate an event like it's huge. I mean, some people love Christmas, some people love Hanukkah, some people love Easter. But it's fun because that energy of joy will create a shift in your life. And then practice celebrators appreciate the smallest things to be grateful for. We celebrate the meeting that went well, the unexpected phone call from a friend, oh, that's always cool, and the compliment on our new haircut, whatever it is. And it says, it means celebrating that I live in Minnesota and I can get bananas and pineapple at a grocery store in the winter. Oh my gosh, that's so true, right? One friend of mine online, he says, I live in Minnesota. I go, yeah, I bet. I'm glad we don't. And then level 4 is wonderful. The celebrators appreciate with wonder the everything things that others take for granted and wouldn't even notice. And they marvel at, wow, I'm so happy my hot water is working, or things like that. And you take it to the smallest degree. And then level 5 is what is left to celebrate. And he says, they call them the Jedi celebrations, you know, from Star Wars. Being grateful for the things that are not good. Told you I was going to get to that, Rick. Because we celebrate our mistakes for the learning we gain from them. We celebrate our mistakes. We celebrate the loss for the reminder of the gift that it was. We celebrate our hurts because they attune us to our humanity. I loved this part. We celebrate the transgressions against us because they help us to be clear about who we want to be in the world. I know, isn't that beautiful? I remember watching a speaker once, and I'm not going to say her name because we put this up on YouTube. Anyway, and I really got upset because she was asking for questions from the audience. It would be like, you know, Joanne would ask me a question, and she screamed at the woman about how dumb she was to ask that question. Whoa, I was so upset. I never wanted to see her again. I still love her books and her material. But then I realized, you know, that was a gift for me, how not to treat individuals when I'm up speaking, when I'm doing that type of thing. Isn't that incredible? And then I let it go, and now I can see her, and I actually did see her again later. But it took me a while to let that go, and to really forgive her for being so rude and mean. But then that was her experience and her growth, and that's the other thing, is that we learn how to do it that way, right? Let's see, where was I? We celebrate divorce for the experience the relationship has offered us. How many want to celebrate your divorce? Wow, I know, right? The lessons we have learned and the possibility of a better relationship as a result. You know, as I read this, I was at my daughter's house, and my ex-husband must have a honing, I don't know, he must have put a chip on me or something, because he doesn't go to my daughter's house unless I'm there. Something like that. And so I'm like, darn it. And then I thought, you know what? Just let it go, because that's why he always knows when you're there, because you do not like this man. And then I sat there and I'm like, and he was like, hey, how are you? You know, how are you doing? And I'm like, yeah, he's not bothering me like he usually does. This is good. And he was actually kind of cool, and we were getting along. I'm going, now that is something to celebrate.
Yes.
Because it has been years. How's my daughter? So it's been, what, 38 years. Okay? So you think it's time to let it go? Yeah. So, you know, you're laughing, but really, I mean, I had no idea that negativity was attracting the brother to me. So he's coming, and every time, and I'm like, damn, here he comes again. You know? No, right? And then I read this and go, oh, I celebrate that we can talk and get along. Because ultimately, as my granddaughter gets older, she's going to notice that stuff. Okay, she probably notices it now because she's 2.5, doing her thing. But you know what? When she gets older, she's going to notice, and I do not want to be a negative around her at her birthday parties or Hanukkah or Christmas or whatever we're doing. So that, so crazy. Anyway, but I'm so grateful. All right, we in this teaching celebrate death. And we celebrate it because there's a whole life worth being grateful for, and the reminder is that we only have one short life. And I remember recently we just did a celebration service for Dick Knopf. Many of you were here. And that is a life that was full and rich and beautiful. And what happened is that his son brought together all of the pictures that we had never seen him. We only knew Dick when he was in his, I don't know, 70s? I guess he was 70s, yeah, the time that I knew him. Maybe he was 69 when I met him, you know, when I first came here. But we celebrate people's lives because of that. When my dad died, my brothers were fighting me tooth and nail, and we celebrated his life. You know what we celebrated? That he raised 5 children. None of us were drug addicts or burglars or criminals. And, you know, that we were functioning in the world. That's pretty huge for 5 kids, I think.
Yeah.
And we weren't alcoholics, we weren't, you know, any of that. And I said, you know, you've got to acknowledge, and I said to my 2 brothers that they were, you know, that he was who he was, and he worked 2 jobs and he did what he had to do. And they was a good role model, even though he was a rageaholic. So that was the one thing that they had to release. But we celebrate life because we want to celebrate everyone who is here, because everyone contributes, don't they? And we're grateful for them. And I don't care what they do. I mean, maybe they're just a beautiful being and they smile a lot, and that makes you feel good. So the life, let's see, where is it? He says, I recently listened to Rabbi Jonathan Sachs, who had just lost his mother, explain that he was staying in the experience and the feeling of grief until he found the blessing in it. So I recently, and that also resonated because I've had 4 men in my life die since April. And I was looking at what is the thing that I'm grateful for about those deaths. And the first one was that this man was my tenant for 13 years, and that he was always just great and never a problem. And then the second one was Dick Knopf. He was a member here, and he fully supported me the whole time. Third one was Reverend Nirvana Gale at Agape, and he was my teacher. And without him, I wouldn't have healed a lot of my male issues with men, because he helped me move through that. And then the last individual is my friend Lori. Her husband just died, and we were supporting her last Wednesday. And he actually taught me how to paint. So I was, how to paint. I took an art class with him, and I remember he was just teaching me how to paint, how to do, you know, shadow and all of that. It was really beautiful. So when we look at individuals in our lives, we grieve them, we're sad about them, but we also look at what gifts did they give us. And that's really what I was doing after I'm crying and moaning and gnashing my teeth, because it's painful to lose a person that you really adore and you love. So Roxy had, and I'm going to find this, Roxy had created on our e-light. How many of you read the e-light? A few of you? Good, thank you. Anyway, so what happens is she puts on a lot of great, whoop, I wonder why that's not going on. I'm just a part of it. I think I just got part of it, Rox. That's kind of weird.
Oh, you know, you have to go all the way to the bottom. It clips it on,
Yeah, it does clip it.
Yeah.
Anyway, she has a lot of great things about gratitude, but what I want to do with you today is have you write down, so somebody want to assist me, there's post-it notes. What you're going to do, you're going to write on the post-it notes what you're grateful. Those are pencils they can write with, so hand out, because most people won't have a pencil. Hand them a paper, take half of that off, Diana, and then that way we can, yeah, and we can pass them here. Give me that, please. There we go. And then everybody can take a piece of paper, because it's going to stick onto the, here, okay? So we're going to stick it up here and post it up here, because it's Post-it notes, right? And so everybody just take a piece of paper, start writing. And then the other thing that I wanted you to do was bring pictures, bring symbols, bring things over the next month so we can create it on this board. In fact, I'm going to turn that board over. I don't like that color. And we're going to create it that way. And that's going to be our collective gratitude board. And then that way it's going to be beautiful. And then by the end of the month it should be filled. So we could put pictures of our family on there. We could put our gratitude, which we're going to start out with today. We could put symbols on there. And it's going to be beautiful. So by the end of the month, right? It'll be lovely, lovely. Okay. So everybody got it? So write something down that you're grateful for, and we're going to post it up on the board. Just write right now. You know, you can write out a list if you want. I mean, but you know, just write 2 or 3 things, and then throughout the month, continue to add to it. And we'll just keep these Post-its available for you. So when you walk into service, I'll put them right here. And then that way people can grab one, you can write it, and we'll post it on the board.
This is something we're grateful for.
Yes.
Not a negative thing.
Not a negative thing.
We're still
Well, the negative thing, if you've transcended it,
I'm not
I
sure.
know. If you haven't, don't put that on there. Attract some happy energy into your life, right? So, you know, and if you want to share as you walk up, you could do that too. You want to do that? Yeah. Because like I said, boy, that was quite the experience to be grateful for my not having a problem with my ex-husband anymore. Yeah. It's lovely. And while you're thinking, here's some quotes, and I'll just read a few. Let's see, I saw one. Oh, here's one. So while you're writing. Gratitude is a vaccine, an antitoxin, and an antiseptic. This is a most searching and true diagnosis. Gratitude can be a vaccine that can prevent the invasion of a disgruntled attitude. And as antitoxins prevent the disastrous effect of certain poisons and diseases, Thanksgiving destroys the poison of fault-finding and grumbling. When trouble has smitten us, spirit of thanksgiving is a soothing antiseptic. Oh, that's cute.
Would you say that again?
Pardon?
Will you repeat it?
The last one or the whole thing? When trouble has smitten us, a spirit of thanksgiving is a soothing antiseptic. After you get, you know, after you scream and yell and all that. Because, you know, you do have to let it out, too. Okay, then you go into
And
gratitude.
we're doing that next week?
What? Yes, we are. Diana's ready. She's ready. Yes, we
I'm
are.
getting freer.
Get ready. Get ready. Practice of gratitude is a constant attitude of thankfulness and appreciation for life as it unfolds. That's true. Living in the moment, we are open to the abundance around us and within us. We express appreciation freely. We contemplate the richness of our life. In life's trials, we seek to understand, to accept, to learn. Oh, and here's from one of my favorite authors, Melody Beatty. Gratitude makes sense of our past, brings peace for today, and creates a vision for tomorrow. Wow, nice. Okay, everybody ready to post it? Come on up, post it. Let's post. And then if you want to bring, like I said, bring symbols, bring things to post on the board, bring them, you know, print out something. And this is going to create an energy in our community, but also in your life. That this came through. This came through early this morning. I like it. The other thing is, when we are at Thanksgiving, are you worried about things? Not really.
Okay, I'll put the box for the pencils right here.
Very, very good. People can put their pencils. Thank you, Diana. And one of the things I'm grateful for is this community. So I am very thankful for all the wonderful people here. Yay! So wonderful. So great. So how you feel? Just writing it down, how do you feel? Good? Better? All right. You feel a little better, even though your car's in the shop?
He got it out in 30 minutes.
It's already fixed.
It got fixed in 30 minutes.
Oh,
and
come
he
on.
was-
That's
he was so on
gratitude.
time for
That is
work.
I
gratitude.
got here in time to catch the rest of the 10
I love it.
and go to the store.
Wow. That's pretty darn amazing, Russ Rogers. Okay, anybody shout it out. What are you grateful for?
Love all around you.
Yeah. What else?
Feeling connected.
Feeling connected. Okay. What else?
Facebook,
Facebook. Yeah, and because?
because it allows me to connect with people that I otherwise wouldn't.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what? That's great. I like that. And I'm trying to find the E-light because I can't find it, Rocks. Anyway, I will. Anything else? Health? Yes. That's a big one. And you know what? I realized that yesterday because I woke up with a migraine and then my neck. And so I realized how important our health is. Okay, anybody else? One last thing.
Family.
Family, yeah.
Family
Abs-
and friends too.
Yeah, family and friends. I agree.
Because they kind of like are like that extra pop and pow, you know, for your life, you know. Otherwise, it kind of would be routine without the antics of our friends and family.
So, say that again, Roxy. It would be what?
Kind of routine if it
Oh,
would.
kind of routine and boring.
And boring without their
the
antics and
antics of our family and friends.
Yes.
I agree with that one. Okay, I found it. Yay, it finally came up. This is from Oprah Winfrey. Be thankful for what you have. You'll end up having more. Yes,
Wow.
she's a metaphysician.
yes.
If you concentrate on what you don't have, you will never, ever have enough. I love that. And, oh, this is cute. You all know who Winnie the Pooh is, right? Okay. Piglet noticed that even though he had a very small heart, he could hold a rather large amount of gratitude. That's a great one, Roxy.
Yeah.
And then this is from John F. Kennedy. As we experience our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them. I love it. And then the last one is gratitude is the open door to abundance. And it really is, because as I was saying earlier, as we open ourselves and as we allow ourselves to release out, whether it's an ex-husband, whether it's a person that was mean to you, you're going to open your awareness and the wisdom of the divine, and we connect more fully then. And then as we allow that to happen, our whole life changes. And you walk into a store, or you walk into a party or a gathering, and you find exactly what you need. Yesterday I said, I'm going to meet exactly the people I need at this intuitive health fair. And I met not only